All right, our top story. Market regulator SEBI is expected to finalize norms for real estate investment trusts or REITs in India very shortly. If allowed, experts expect nearly 60 to 72,000 crore rupees to flow into the realty sector. But there are still concerns about the final structure that the guidelines are expected to take. What are these concerns and who are the players that stand to benefit the most if REITs are introduced? Nikhil Sivadas reports.
The next few weeks will see the Securities and Exchange Board or SEBI finalize the norms for real estate investment trusts or REITs in India. If passed, REITs will see the cash-strapped Indian realty sector get a new lease on life.
It is perhaps the last avenue left for the real estate industry to be able to get the monies in. We had the AIM market, which was on the London listed market, that's stopped for real estate in India. We had the IPOs that happened, and then we haven't had an IPO on real estate for a very, very long time.
Globally, REITs are investment vehicles for retail investors to invest in real estate and diversify their investment portfolio. In India, the proposed REITs regime will consider only commercial realty assets for listing. But even with those restrictions, the windfalls are expected to be huge. Data from JLL indicates that India has nearly 375 million square feet of Grade A office stock available, out of which 80 to 100 million square feet can be used for immediate listing, generating potential capital values of anywhere between 60 to 75,000 crore rupees.
Our stock market has a total market cap of $1.2 trillion. So $10 to $20 billion for real estate investment trust market is not a big number. It is possible over a period of time.
Some of India's largest listed and unlisted developers, as well as private equity firms, are expected to be in the running to list once REITs are introduced. Among listed players, DLF, Phoenix Mills and Prestige Estates stand to benefit. Private equity firms Blackstone and Brookfield will also benefit, having accumulated high-quality commercial assets. Unlisted players like K. Raheja Group, the Embassy Group and RMZ are also looking at REITs with interest.
A lot more companies are coming in for the first time. So there's a lot of stable potential for stable income to come. So we are looking at listing our REIT. I think it will be a year from now we'll actually be listing.
Developers and experts are still waiting for further clarity on the exact nature of the SOPs that will be provided. SOPs that the government apparently is not very keen on giving.
No government likes to give up a potential revenue stream. So when the industry is asking for dividend distribution tax to be exempted, the government perceives this to be a differentiated treatment and potential loss of revenue.
Some experts say that developers and investors will not be rushing to REITs as yet.
Values of commercial real estate are pretty depressed. So the developer may wait for a couple of years for the commercial real estate values to expand, or once the recovery happens, and then bring them to the market so that they are able to get a better valuation. Also, I see a bit of it because of the historically how real estate IPOs have performed in terms of valuations, the actual price which they came in and what they are trading at currently. So investors are also a little weary.
That's a concern that developers and experts have raised with SEBI and the government. Now the big question is, will these concerns be addressed and what will be the final shape of the REITs regime in India? That's a question that will be answered in the next few weeks. From Mumbai, Nikhil Sivadas, NDTV.